In this episode, I tell you how to keep on pushing through. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? My name is Michael Sahno, and welcome to the Sea and Land Fitness Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Sea and Land Fitness. So head on over to www.sandlfit.com. That's www.sandlfit.com and pick up some of your Honey Badger merchandise or check out our awesome fitness programs. This podcast is also brought to you by 511 Tactical, maker of some of the greatest tactical and fitness gear on the planet. Thorne Supplements, makers of some of the greatest supplements on the planet. Why? Because what's on the bottle, make sure I get it right, what's on the bottle is in the bottle. They use third-party verification for everything. And finally, we are also brought to you by RDX Sports, makers of some of the finest fight sports like boxing and MMA equipment on the planet. So for Thorne and RDX Sports, head on down to the description, click the link, and you will get 10% off using the stuff in the Thorne storefront and the RDX, using the RDX coupon code. So, all right, got that out of the way, paid the bills. So what was I talking about in the beginning? How am I going to help you keep on pushing through? Well, all right, so spring is not totally here yet. I know. You all know how I feel about that. Spring is not totally here yet, but we are getting some warm weather. And I have decided to get back out there and start working out again. All right. Before I get too deep into it, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Peter Madeira, this is for you. All right. So it's getting warm. I'm back out there. I don't know if I think I might have mentioned this. I am up on the website. I have a sandbag calisthenic workout. And this past spring I took this past winter I took the season off. I made it my off season. Which was amazing because a lot of stuff healed in my shoulder, in my legs, ankles, feet, all that stuff. But now that's coming to a close and now it's getting warmer, I decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that sandbag calisthenic workout and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to get myself back into shape before I start lifting heavier weights and barbells and dumbbells and stuff like that. Cause I just got 2 45-pound kettlebells for the holidays. I have a set and it only went up to 40 pounds. And now for the holidays, I was given a 45-pound set by my wife. Go boss. But that's a lot of weight to go cold. So let's say, you've been in an off season. Let's say you've been detraining, your musculature's a little, not weaker, but not really ready for the intensity of that weight. And let's say that, for a fact, your tendons over time, over a couple of months are not going to be geared towards letting you do that. The elasticity, they'll stiffen a little bit, especially if you're getting older, they'll stiffen a little bit. So you want to do something to get them warmed up, get them patterned to expect that type of weight, to expect that heavier weight. So that's where the sandbag workout that I developed comes into play, and it's whoo, it is a ball breaker. It's really, really, really a little more intense than I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of it has to do with me taking time off, but I use a 50-pound sandbag. You know, if you're smaller, you can use a 25, 35, 40-pound. That's how much sand you can put in there. But I bought 50-pound bags, and the 50-pound bags at Home Depot fit perfectly into the 50-pound bag from 511. And that's what I use. I use that one because I really like the handles. And what was interesting is I got through it pretty cleanly. No real problems. Was doing it and was like, okay, this is fine. Not a problem. I got this. But damn, if the next day didn't hurt, it beat my ass. It really, really kind of showed me who's boss. And I had a lot of trouble the rest of the week really being productive. You know what I mean? I'm working on the next round of fitness videos to release for you guys. And there's a couple of steps that have to be taken. One of them is I have to write scripts and record these scripts. So, you know what to do as I explain the exercise to you in the exercise videos for the library. I didn't even want to do that. I did not even want to do that. I screwed off the entire week just because I got so beat up in that one workout. So last week I was supposed to do 2 workouts and 2 sessions on the Echo bike. And I think something happened time-wise that I wasn't able to do the Echo bike. So I said, no, that'll be fine. I'll just do the workout, and then on Wednesday I'll do the Echo bike. Thursday I'll do the workout, and then Friday I'll do the Echo bike again, and that'll get me going. Dude, I did not make it past Tuesday. Tuesday I was so wrecked from that workout that I literally had trouble picking myself up. It just beat me up so bad. Now, that's okay. So if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, shit, man, I don't want to do his workout if it's going to beat my ass. It actually is a really low intensity workout. Just deals with a very high weight. And if you're not used to that weight, it can beat you up a little bit. So I was beating myself up. I was in this bad headspace because of it, because I said to myself, well, I just did this one workout and now I didn't do anything for the rest of the week. This is garbage. This is crap. And you start really beating yourself up. And then I made a decision, and this is where decisions become so important in convincing yourself to stay on the right path. So what I did was I said, you know what? I'm on vacation. I did what I set out to do. I started the workout. The workout beat me up. It wouldn't be smart to continue because I would burn out immediately in the first week if I did everything that I said I was going to do. So why don't I just take vacation, hang out, do stuff. Don't really worry about work on Sea and Land Fitness. I did some stuff. I made some phone calls, sent out some emails and stuff like that. But overall, I really didn't do much. And I just took vacation. But I took vacation with the understanding that this was a needed vacation. That I needed to do this because I needed to be in tip-top shape and injury-free and be able to continue next week doing the exercises, doing the workout plan that I had set for myself. So I got to tell you, it's Monday. It's the day I normally record this thing. And I was on the Echo bike. Ironically, I got off the Echo bike. I did the Echo bike and single leg body squats because it's just I want to strengthen up my legs for barbell back squat because I like squatting with a barbell. It's one of the things that I love to do and I want to be ready for it. So I'm doing preparatory exercises. But I have to tell you, I was tired after getting off the Echo bike. I'm going to have another sip of coffee real quick. Hold on. Perfect. So I was tired getting off the Echo bike. I was beat up getting off the Echo bike. And I'm on it for 30 minutes. I do a slow burn. I get up to like 15, I think. No, 17. I don't go very fast. Start off at around 13. I think it's 13 watts or something, and then get up to 17. Or I don't know. I gotta look at the little thing, find out. But the number that I see on the left hand side is I start at 13 and I end around 17. And I did it. I did it at the pace that I normally do it. I didn't go slower than I normally go. I actually was going a little bit faster in the beginning. I was up to 15 quicker than normal. But I could feel the fatigue from last week, which is weird. It'd been an entire week, so I shouldn't really be feeling it. But I'm going to tell you, you take time off, and that's how quickly your level of being in shape can diminish. But I knew that this was just going to be a temporary hump. This was going to be a small hill rather than a mountain that I would have to climb over. So tomorrow, Tuesday, is my West Point day. Those are the days that I go to shoot. And I'm going to come back, and in the evening, I like to do it in the evenings, like around 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm going to do the sandbag workout. I'm going to do day 1 and then take Wednesday off, do day 2 on Thursday, and then do the Echo bike again on Friday. And I know I'm gonna, because it's knocking the rust off. It's going through the discomfort the next day or during. Excuse me, I had a hiccup. Going through the discomfort the day of, because the reason we feel pain and the reason we experience these thoughts of, you know what, I should just stop now, this is good enough. The reason we experience those is the body is averse to pain. We're geared towards survival. We're geared towards making it through. You know what I mean? And these thoughts that we have and these feelings we have in our body are our body's way of telling us, don't freaking hurt yourself, bro. So we're geared to listen to them. We are wired to listen to them. And it's overcoming and knowing that if I continue this at a reasonable pace, and that's a trick in convincing yourself that it's at a reasonable pace, that you'll be able to continue to do this activity, engage in this behavior, working out. Now, one of the things that's really interesting is how do you, so I'm doing the single leg squats. Okay. So I have this 6-inch plyo stand, metal stand that I stand on. And I go and I get done on the bike here, and then I lower myself as low as I can and then come back up. And I'm noticing that there are a lot of pains in places where I've had injuries before. I know I've had tendon injuries before, and I can feel those tendons' reluctance to go through it again. And that pain, and I'm curious about this. I'm curious neurologically how it works. Does the body have a mind of its own? I guess is what I'm asking. So things that you've hurt in the past, do they hurt more because of injury, or do they hurt more because the brain says to give a stronger pain sensation so that you don't re-injure it? Interesting. I know that when a tendon heals, it doesn't heal in the exact same structure, and that there's scar tissue and all kinds of stuff. But I'm just curious about that, because my body is literally saying to me, "Oh, you asshole, what are you doing?" And I'm just trying to overcome it. But I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be good. I am the king of one more push-up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I could do one more, and then falling flat on my face. But I'm always willing to try one more. I'm always the only thing that beats my ass, and I'm going to tell you. So I could have done my second day of workout, but like an asshole, I put one of my most hated exercises in the second day of the sandbag workout. And it is 8-count bodybuilders with a step up. And that's where you get down, you squat down, put your hands on the ground, kick your feet out behind you, do a push up, come up, and then take your legs and go like that, and then bring them back in. I only have 5 of them, 3 sets of 5. But still, you start off your workout with that, and it's such a drain on your metabolic system, that your cellular metabolic system, that you're like, screw this, I don't want to do any more of this workout. But I will say this, one of the things at the end, the hardest thing in the first day was sit-ups, coming back to sit-ups, because I get this pain right here, like right in the middle of my abdomen. And it literally, if I do too many push-ups, it literally feels like my abdomen's pulling apart. I guess that's not a good thing, but I do them anyways. And I think it was 3 sets of 10, which might have been an asshole move. And I might need to no, I'll leave it. It'll be fine. You should be doing more sit-ups anyways. It's good for you. Get those the hip rotational movement going. But yeah, so wow, See, doing this podcast is so therapeutic for me because I realized that putting something that I don't want to do at the beginning of a workout will make it more difficult for me to do the workout. So now I know that though. And now I could push myself, persuade myself, convince myself, use some of that persuasion psychology. That's creepy. Use some of that persuasion psychology to get myself to do those sit-ups. Yeah. So I gotta get my ass into gear. The other thing that didn't help and really influenced me on taking a vacation day was or a vacation week was I started the workout on Monday and it was something like 69 degrees or something like that. I started it on Tuesday, that's right. It was 69 degrees and I was like, oh my gosh, spring is here, can't wait, I'm gonna work out so much. And then the temperature dropped to like 40 degrees, 30 degrees, and I was and rained, and I was like, forget this. This is garbage. I hate working out. I hate. No, I don't hate. But it's interesting because weather can have an effect. All these things that happen to me are just examples of how we deal with the internal influences to achieving what we want to achieve. And I am going to be the first to admit that I am not superhuman, and cold weather makes me not want to go outside, and being sore makes me not want to work out, and I just got to be more forceful in my conviction and get this stuff done. But I hope by discussing this with you and by bringing up all of the impediments, all the barriers that threw themselves up in front of me, all the obstacles, they're not barriers, they're obstacles. All these obstacles were thrown up in front of me, or I personally threw them up in front of me, that, hopefully watching me go through all this gives you some insight into the things that you need to do in order to just push yourself a little bit harder, like I'm going to do this week. This week, I'm going to push myself a little bit harder. And yeah, so hope it helps. That's pretty much all I've got for you. The basic thing that I'm saying is don't give up. Don't give up. You can do this. Don't give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to let a little bit of bad weather and soreness stop me from getting myself back going. And you shouldn't too. And if you feel like you need to, or you need a little bit of motivation, reach out to me. Leave a comment below. Go to the website, leave a message, and I'll get back to you. I'll help you out. Okay. All right. That's everything for this episode. As I said in the beginning of the video, this podcast is brought to you, the Sea and Land Fitness podcast is brought to you by Sea and Land Fitness. So head on over to www.sandlfit.com. That's www.sandlfit.com. Check out the merch. Check out the program that I was talking about in this episode. It's free. You can get the workout and you can get all the videos to describe how to do all the exercises in the workout. So go on over there, check those out, pick up some hats, pick up some bumper stickers, flag patches, shirts, Garmin watches. We've got Garmin watches. We've also got Sunto watches, which I'm wearing one right now. And yeah, pick all that stuff up. Also head on over to 511 Tactical, one of the sponsors for this podcast, and pick yourself up some awesome fitness or tactical gear. They've got the best sandbags out there. They're the ones we use. They've also got some of the best, absolutely best vests. The Tac Tech vest is the one that we use. Snug as a bug in a rug for when you want to really move and have that weight and not feel like it's, shifting around on you. Also, our other sponsor is Thorne Supplements. Head on over there. I use their protein, their amino complex, branched chain amino acids, their creatine every morning, and there's something else for skin, and it's in the store. Skin Health. It's in the store. If you check the link in the description, you'll go right to my store, and everything in my store that's on the Thorne website, you'll get 10% off. If there's anything you want in there, let me know, reach out, contact me, and I can put it up there, and you'll get 10% off that too. Finally, our last, not in terms of order of greatness, but our last sponsor is RDX Sports. I personally use their focus pad mitts for our focus pad mitt knee raises. They are tremendous. It's professional equipment for the combat sports, be it be it boxing, MMA. I've got the vest, the head, for my son and I to go at it and wail on each other. My nose itches. Sorry about that if you're watching this. So going over there, use the code in the description on your checkout. You'll get 10% off. Definitely. And we're thinking about carrying their focus mitts in our store too. So head on over there, check it out. That's all I got for you. Later, honey badgers, out.